Evening, guys. Welcome back to Ukraine, Kyiv, the capital. It's 5:10 p.m. Yeah, almost dark. Today we changed our clocks to the winter time. We put it back, so now it will be really dark at 5. So it's Sunday, 26th of October, and as usual I have my live. Today I'm here with Luba and Mr. Pavlo. Yeah. So hi to everyone who is watching us live. Hi to everyone who will watch this video on replay. Today we're gonna talk about our days in Kyiv, because every single day we are under attack, and every single day we spend our nights in the shelter. Today, thankfully, it was not that long as yesterday and the day before yesterday, but our neighborhood, our district was again under the attack. So this is the left bank of Kyiv, the right bank, the central part is there. You can see the mother monument right here and beautiful sunset. The colors are really great, and especially this mirroring on the water, and it looks awesome. We have power lags, so you can see that the lights on that side, they are not, it's not that light as usual, so I can see lights only on the road, so on the bridge, and some lights here, but the entire bank, so usually we have lights next to the mother monument, near the church, some high-story buildings also have some lights, but unfortunately after the attack that happened 3 days ago, Russians, and yeah guys, I also posted the videos, and if you haven't seen the video, this is my last video. I show you the consequences, because it was not far from the place where we stay, and there is the hole in the building. Another building was damaged by a drone or its debris. Yeah, and after that we have power issues, and that's why the city is black on that side. But it's not like 24/7. We have power schedules for power cuts, and usually on the first day we didn't have power for maybe 7 hours or 8 hours in a row, and then we had power for 4 hours, and then again it was power off for maybe 6 hours. Today it was only in the morning, like for 2 hours, and due to the app, so we have app Kyiv Digital, we have app Svitlo, like light Svitlo, it's light in Ukrainian, and there you can check the schedule. You can see when the power is will be unavailable, and for today it was just stabilization cut. So yeah, of course it's not new to us and to Ukraine and Ukrainian people, but of course it gives some of course, man, guys, it's uncomfortable when you have no power, but when there is the war, it's I cannot say that it's not that important. Of course it's very important, but thankfully that we are okay. But today, guys, the drone hit the building, and I know there are 30 casualties, so 30 people were wounded, and 3 people were killed in today's attack. It happened, it was Treshina, so it's about maybe 5 kilometers approximately from this place. So unfortunately there is nothing good to share. I'm watching of course, the news from the United States, the news from American administration, what are they doing and what are they saying. I also watch and visit some Russian websites to see what they write and how they describe everything what's going on, because interesting fact that yesterday I was watching not like the interview but some video of that Russian official Dmitriev. He went to United States to meet some officials from your administration, from White House, and he said that like somehow we are very thankful to President Trump because of him we have agreed to the energy ceasefire. And maybe I didn't understand that quite well, or maybe he was talking about the energy ceasefire that was for several days half a year ago, because as for now Russians, they are trying to destroy all the energy station that we have in Ukraine, not only in Kyiv but generally in Ukraine. So it was a bit weird to listen and to hear that from him. But he also mentioned that United States, Russia and Ukraine are close to some solution, to some deal. But of course they've been saying that he was saying that even half a year ago. So I don't know, guys, like how true is that, because after they canceled the meeting in Budapest in Hungary, because as far as you remember, Trump, he offered to see Putin there, and then there were so many news around this meeting, and later in a day or two they canceled it because Trump, he mentioned that he wants some steps towards the ceasefire or even the end of this war, and if there is no progress, like there is no sense to have this meeting. So it's really hard to to predict, to see how it will be, because unfortunately we have had this hope for 4 years, almost 4 years since the war started. Every time all of us Ukrainian people and you guys who are watching me on this channel, all of you, of course, you wish the quickest end to this war. And now, like, every time we just repeat the same stuff, and there is nothing serious, because being a sane person, I do realize that for Russians maybe it's not important, but reasonable to end this war, and definitely it's not reasonable for them. But every time their official, and especially Putin, he says like, no, of course we are not against the peace and it's better than war, but and every time, every his conference, he's saying but there are a lot of buts. And then I also follow one guy. This is Steve Rosenberg. He's the journalist from BBC, and he has the channel, and he's reviewing Russian press, so Russian magazines, and it's really interesting. If you can check, maybe you know this guy. And every time he review these magazines, these newspapers, every time there are some articles that nobody is planning to end this war. Of course, they are not calling this war, they call this war special military operation, and they are writing that for us it has no sense, that country should not exist, and because it's like, man, there are so many nonsense, so I even don't wanna quote that. But you can go to the channel, and it's interesting for me as a citizen of Ukraine, maybe for you as a Americans or Canadians or some other guys, it's not that interesting, but yeah. So you remember, if you didn't watch the video that I posted, so after that we had power outage. Then I was trying to edit the video and to post this video right on that day, but unfortunately no power, no internet. And then we had again the attacks, and last night we had the attack in this district as well. And the whole day there was the fire, and the rescuers and firefighters, they've been extinguished that fire for 14 hours. And during the 14 hours you just see the huge smoke over that place. And yeah, so
ці 2 дня були от внезапно, знаєш, це було настільки швидко, буквально тривога і все.
Luba wants to add that not every attack, but the attacks during the night, over the last night, they were so rapid and so sudden. So imagine you are sleeping and there is air siren, and usually I do not hear it, but Luba, she's monitoring, like, all the groups, all the channels, and she has like the real, not like the siren, but the notification. So she's not sleeping, and she's just she's saying Pablo, like there is siren. And right, we woke up, maybe in 10 seconds, maybe 5, we just entered the bathroom, and there are heavy explosions and heavy booms. Yeah, one after one, and maybe like up to 10 explosions, in a row. And you just sitting and you have no idea, because
немає часу навіть бігти, в убіжище, тому що ти не знаєш, де тебе застане, де ти.
And it's just impossible. It's possible to go to the shelter, but you never know. You never know when it hit, when there's missiles or drones. Because after my videos, some people wrote like, Pablo, it's not the direct hit, it's some debris. But guys, I do realize that there are a lot of debris that falling down, but when there are, let's say, 500 air targets every time they attack during the night, guys, it's just impossible without debris. And of course they are falling down, and it's super scary part, because you never know where the debris fell. So you could realize and predict which places they will target, like some energy stations, power stations, but you never know when the debris or some parts of the drone will fall. And of course that's another horrific part. You can hear the train. So yeah, you just have no time to go to the shelter. So we went to the bathroom just all these days we are sleeping in the clothes. So like the only what you have to put is just some coat, because it's almost winter time in Ukraine. Everybody's wearing coats, everybody's wearing hats. And then to go down, and once we left the apartment, we met the neighbors who were sitting in the corridor. So like public hall, public corridor with their dog. And then both of us, we went to the shelter and stayed there for maybe 2 or 3 hours. I'm sorry that I'm not reading your comments, guys. I have this let's say monologue podcast, so I'll go to this comment part. Meanwhile, you can enjoy the view. Yeah, so hello to everyone. Hello Steve, by the way. Groundhog Day. And in Ukraine today is the day, it's like not the driver's day, but the people whose job to drive the car, the bus, marshrutka. So we have this day. Hello Luke. Hello John. Hello. Yeah, hello to everyone. Watchman, 6 and 7 hours is too long for the refrigerator. Make lots of ice. Man, really, when there are attacks and power cuts, you really don't care about the fridge, about some other electronic. So yeah, so seems the quality is nice, because I was worried that the internet is not that good today, but seems that everything not that bad. Good morning, good evening, Jeff. Hello from Portland, Oregon in the United States. Hello, buddy boy. Hello to everyone who is watching us. I'm sorry, guys, if I missed somebody. The Tomahawk might just be enough to put Putin in the corner to use his nuclear. Oh, guys, of course, like, any steps are. I cannot say that to make him use nuke, because it's like seems just the last step for everybody. I mean, just for the existence, for the normal existence of the all countries in the Eastern Europe, not only Ukraine, because yeah, the consequences will be really huge. But of course, in my view, yeah, we remember that 2 days ago President Trump, he imposed sanctions to Russian oil companies, and the Europe imposed the 19th package. And when you just say 19th, so it's not like the 5th or 6th, 19th, and you see how they work, and you really have questions, do they really work? Because in my view, like, Russia, they just do not care about any sanctions, unfortunately, or they should be really, really significant. And of course, it's a bit strange that the top Russian companies, oil companies, have these sanctions only after 4 years. And I don't know which steps President Trump must do next to make Putin agreed on the ceasefire, but most likely these steps should be like, I even don't know what he can do, unfortunately, because words are words, and of course his words, they're really sweet every time when he's saying that I feel that Putin, he wants to end this. I feel, and I know him really good, and like, not like we are friends, but every time he repeats that, every time the next day or night we had massive attacks, and we have people who are dying because of these attacks. And of course, another thing that I want to mention, that under the videos, of course, some people write like, Pavlo, you are lucky, like, it's not like Gaza. So guys, it should never happen anywhere, neither Ukraine, neither Gaza, neither Israel, neither other countries. It just, guys, I maybe I'm too like not like humanity, I just do not perceive the violence, and it definitely will not help to any country to reach their goals, and especially when the goals are silly from the this initial part, because even now, like, many people have no idea, like, what do they want, because even yesterday, because I told you that I was watching that guy, the Russian envoy Dmitry, when he had the interview on CNN and Fox, and somebody asked, like, but what do you want, like, can you just clarify what do you want? And of course he said that we just want to help, let's say, Russians in Ukraine, to help Russian speaking people in Ukraine, because Ukraine treats them badly, Ukraine attacked them. Man, I told it many times that over the last 3 years the most suffered regions and the most destroyed regions and cities and towns, villages, these are mostly Russian-speaking regions, cities, and people from those regions, they suffer the most. And of course, when you are saying that like we're here to help those people, so it means like to help what, to kill, or just to get rid the normal life and to make the life of those people not abnormal, but just to make their life so they will not be able to live in their cities, in their countrysides. So it's just completely, of course, yes, another stuff that he mentioned, that like NATO, neutral status of Ukraine. And when we are talking to NATO, and some people write in the comments like, Paulo, this is because Ukraine wants to be in NATO, but man, NATO doesn't want Ukraine to be in NATO. So like, so what's the matter? They said that many times that like we are not ready, and to invite Ukraine. President Trump also mentioned that Ukraine will not be in NATO the nearest like 10 years. So what's then? Ukraine is not in NATO. Ukraine not in any military alliance or union. Nobody never attacked Russian-speaking people. It's also a stupid excuse for Russia. Another reason was demilitarization. So now Ukraine militarized like never before, and having the biggest army in the Europe, the most experienced army, producing many weaponry, drones. Denazification, who are Nazi, it's just the mystery, because it's like some guys in the comments, they're saying about Banderites in Ukraine. And guys, for us these words, they are like mythological. When you perceive these words like some fairy tale, of course, like it's quite common, you can hear that under some comments, you can read it, but our people perceive these words like some joke, because you never seen and you have no idea what is that in the real life. I mean, I've never met neither Nazi, neither Banderites, but of course it's just funny to say yes, if Russians want us and they are calling us Banderites, okay, we'll be Banderites, but nobody knows what is that. Yeah, we have the guy who is a historical person, but it was like 100 years ago, and it does not relevant. А? Ой, ні. Не можеш прийтись, да, я тут. So it does not relevant in 2025. And when you hear that, you just wondering like what are you talking about? And another interesting stuff. So it was maybe yesterday I watched. It was some, not like compilation, but just some cut from a Russian evening show. So they are threatening not only Ukraine and saying that Ukraine will be destroyed, but they are saying that about all the countries that let's say friendly with Ukraine, like Great Britain, like Germany, Poland, etc. And when you just watching and listening to that, you just completely out of your mind, and you do not realize like what the heck, like are those people, they are just insane and so stupid. Hi Paulo, has it snowed yet in Kyiv or Poltava? When is the first snow usually? Hello John. No, it has not snowed yet, and maybe in December, so maybe in a month or even two. Павло, любимо, надсилаємо вам силу та мужність, щоб отримали чинні, тобі не переживати. Історія нагадує нам, тирани падають, а добро завжди перемагає. Незалежно від ціни. Дякую, Mighty Science. What is Zelensky doing? Isn't he the president of Ukraine? Kim Katz, I'm not his advisor, I'm not his, the advisor, so I don't know what he's doing right now. Paul, if there is any possible way, you should really get out of Ukraine, the watchman. Yeah, thanks for worries, man. Yeah, of course. If I just hope really, and it's funny to say that after 4 years, but I hope that things will be better. Like, it cannot be that bad, like, all the time. 4 years in a row, it cannot be bad. Of course, like, when I say that, I do not believe that normal life is possible, but it's just impossible to live in such a condition for like 5-6 years. Of course, like some countries like Israel, they have, let's say, active war over the last like 10 years, but Russians, they really, like, they can attack every single day, every single night, and it just will be impossible to live like that for another couple years. So let's hope that United States, that President Trump and our European allies can pressure Russia, can pressure Putin, so they would agree on the ceasefire. Because, of course, yeah, they repeated that ceasefire, it's not what they want. But man, when there are, let's say, attacks and almost like thousands air weapon every night over Ukraine, it's just impossible, to agree on something and to have some talks. But even energy ceasefire now, even just any ceasefire, because I remember they were talking about the like ceasefire in the sky, so no missiles, no drones, no missiles, no drones. But every time something happened and it was cancelled, so I don't really know, because you just really hope for something good, but like inside you're just hopeless about everything, and you hope for better, but all of us who is here, we should be prepared for the worst, or for the worst. I don't blame you, I just know his answer because I asked him myself. Happy. If they are working on Ukrainian ferry, they are still a target. There is a street in San Antonio called Bandera Road. I lived pretty close to it. Hello, Sasha. Yeah, we have the prospect like of Bandera in Kiev, but like being a modern person, being not completely modern person, you just perceive and treat these people like just some historical members. And it's like that in any country. Yes, maybe for some countries they are not that good, because I know that for example Poland, they do not like this guy, they do not like what was happening, but for some Ukrainians maybe they perceive him in another way. But for many Ukrainians it's just the historical figure, just a historical person, and it's not so relevant nowadays. By the way, another train, because trains, they are going all over Ukraine, and you can basically take the train and go to another side, to go to Lviv, Uzhhorod, to Kharkiv, to Odessa. It's really I cannot say that it's cheap, because it's basically the similar price for the train, for the bus right now. But overnight train is better than sitting in the bus for 12 hours. Hello together from Germany. Hello, walkie talkie. You have to put Jesus. The watchman is working fine for me, and he has rebuilt them. Is it Dnipro River? Yeah, John, this is Dnipro River. This is Kiev. Yep, walkie talkie. I've been teaching English to Ukrainian adults online for the last year. Дуже дякую. Героям слава, Кринтон. Thanks for your lessons to Ukrainian. Take us to Uzhhorod. Steve, once you come to Ukraine, we'll go anywhere you wish. Because Yeah, I remember you said that sooner or later you will be here. So man, I have the place for you, and not only for you. You can take even your dogs. So we'll find them place. By the way, guys, I saw the dogs hostel here, or dogs hotel. So you can leave your dogs here, and the workers, they will take care of your dogs. So Steve, very welcome to Ukraine. Whenever either side has the advantage, they don't want a ceasefire because it will allow the other side to then regroup, resupply, rearm, reinforce, and then gain the advantage. Catch 22 situation. Yeah, John, I do realize that, and of course, I also like listen and watch some people, who know more, and of course, many of them saying that like for Russia it's not reasonable and profitable to agree on ceasefire, because like they gain and they attack Ukraine and they make us, let's say, suffer. But guys, it's just impossible to live like that. And but you can see that even the way how the President Zelensky treat and what he's saying. So if in the beginning we were completely against any ceasefire and against some territorial let's say questions, now like United States, it was Trump recently, like maybe like before this talks about Budapest meeting, that he offered like to stop on the current lines for both countries, and Ukraine is agreed to stop. Ukraine is agreed to stop, and even not to demand for the land that Russia seized, but not agreed to give the land that is not seized. And of course it's pretty reasonable, and even this is a huge compromise from Ukrainian side. This is huge compromise, sorry, that we agree. But Russians, they are not agree on that, and they just want more and more and more. And it's so, on the one hand, it's so stupid. Like, this is the biggest country, they have so many land and they need more. And of course, maybe it's not just about the land, maybe it's just about some influence, because of course Russia and its government, they do not like the way how Ukraine developed. They do not like the way that Ukraine want to be closer to Europe, and just our elections. So every time we have different president, yes, sometimes they are not that good, sometimes but yeah, if people chose that president, then like the majority country voted for that guy. But every time it's different person, and every time any person, if that person has support among the citizens, it can be the president, and he or she, they can apply for the race. Not like in Russia, when it's just one person and there are no other people. Because if you want to be the president, either you jailed, either you killed, either you just sent from the country. So yeah, guys, it just of course it's I don't want to say like it's a horrible time, but of course it's a horrible time, because every day we are in a danger, every day somebody's dying, and nobody can do nothing about that. So, and it's really like, it's so huge question that why nobody can do nothing. Like, what are the reasons that nobody can put the end to this war? And then you just, let's say, you just analyze everything, and there are so many unpleasant things that are in your head. So maybe somebody's profiting, but of course war, yeah, it's always some profit for some people, some specific people, some specific companies, but not for the people. unfortunately. And while some people, let's say, profit, other people just die. And of course nobody wants in the shoes of these people, but now all of us, we feel it like that, and unfortunately can do nothing to end this, to stop it. If somebody has some questions, feel free to ask. I will check the comments, and maybe somebody wrote something interesting. What are the rules for breeding dogs? Seems that you need to have at least some passport. What is the time? It's 5:46. Maybe visit Ukraine for business and likely stay on the left bank. Any thoughts what to do when sirens go off? No underground near there. It's Turname. Basically around every building there is a shelter, and we have shelters in the basement, so you can go there. Of course, every time, like when there is siren, of course you have to be subscribed to all the groups that are warning and write where is the drone or missile, so you will be aware about that. Of course, you have to choose some place where the shelter is, in the basement, because it's not that comfortable to go, for example, to the subway when it's far, when it needs 5 minutes. So of course it's better when it's really close or even under you. And of course you have to stay in the building which are not, let's say, high story building, which is it's better to stay on the second floor or third floor, but not on the 25th, because when you live high, it needs so many time to reach the shelter. Steve, what does Ukraine consider victory? Steve, you know all the answers, so you can write that in the comment, because Steve, by the way, he's a military expert, and he is saying so many reasonable things. And Steve, he is the biggest supporter of Ukraine and Ukrainian people. This is my friend, yeah. So if some of you think that I don't know him, yeah, I know him, and of course thanks a lot, Steve, for your support. We are very grateful to you. And by the way, you can, if you need the real definition of that, we can try to forward the letter from you to our Ministry of Defense, or maybe even to Zelensky, so maybe they will gladly reply and answer, because unfortunately it's not my not responsibility, but unfortunately, yeah, it's not the field where I work. But I appreciate your questions, my friend. My wife went back to Odessa this summer for 1 month to see her mom just before passing. It was very scary every day. We hope it over soon. Stay safe, Paulo. Thanks, don't matter. Yeah, Odessa is another dangerous region, because it's really close, and Russians attacking Odessa. Guys, there are always sirens, air raids, because I do follow their groups, and I do read what's happening there. A letter is in the mail. That's good then. Vladi Putina, what's that weird nickname? When are you going to do your military service? I do already, so why are you asking? Paulo, do you agree that yen? What is yen? Is there an app in English that we can use in the US to monitor the missiles attack? Yeah, we have. It's the name like radar, but then the names of these apps, they're usually in Ukrainian, so it's like radar, so it's like radar. Hi Paula, hello Jay, thanks for joining. I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to war. It's just too structured and organized to be organic. Sasha, what did you want to say? Because yeah, you're talking about what? Hello from Carl Maine. Hello Les. Do you think Ukraine should have presidential elections before the war is over? John Smith, if that possible, then yes. If that possible, and if that impossible, then no. Because in my view, if we would have the ceasefire, then we will be able to have elections. Like without the ceasefire, it's, let's say, impossible to organize and to build all the let's say these election offices, like where people can vote and to even to visit it during the day. Because I do remember my previous elections. Lobo, I paid nothing. I work for this country. You're a stupid person. Sorry. Yeah. So every time somebody asking me how much did I pay, every time I want to say that first of all, I'm against of any corruption, and I'm here to advertise Ukraine, advertise let's say normal, not normal, which word, let's say not the, because this word is so simple, like normal life, that we are not a third world country, that the huge amount of people, they are modern, they are, let's say, like me, and everybody is against the corruption. Of course, some officials, some top officials, because there are like in any country, once you are in the power, once you is there, and you just want to try this tasty life, and you do some corruption. But as for, let's say, ordinary people, everybody is against that, and everybody hates that, and this is the huge problem that we have. But sooner or later, this problem will disappear, and it will be definitely like, I just wish the biggest, let's say, punishment for people who involved in the corruption. So when somebody like who was that? I don't know who was that. Like, yeah, Lobo asking that, like, I just want to say it like that. I think almost all modern wars are cooked up by financiers long before they start, people with a lot of influence. Yeah, but for example, in my view, the guy who is the most, let's say, who has the most influence in this world right now, this is President Trump. And this guy, he is completely against, and he is not supporting any war, and he wants to stop all the wars. But do you really think, of course, maybe some people think that there is somebody behind, or somebody who is higher, then it's interesting, and yeah, you can write. Of course, I heard about some organizations like BlackRock, who is super expensive, but in reality it's really interesting, like, or some people call them Rockefellers, some people who are ruling this world. But it's really interesting, like, who is who are those people. Hi Paula, hey Robert, hope you are doing good, my friend. Zelensky is a weasel and has escape plans as he leaves his nation in destruction. Watchman, some people, yeah, some people have different thoughts, people differently treat this or that politician. And even me, I cannot say that I like everything what is happening, and I like everything in our government. I'm more negative about it. but man, it's I'm here to share the voice of the people, not of the government, because our people, they are also a bit tired. They also want some change, but unfortunately, like when there are drones and missiles, like it's just impossible even to have the elections. And I heard that Putin, he also like call, and he also treat this let's say government and the president as illegitimate. But man, okay, then agree on the ceasefire, and we will have some elections. We will change the government, but no, he's not doing that. So what's the sense then to say like that and do absolutely, let's say, opposite things? Paulo, don't entertain the Russian trolls' provocative questions. Man, I don't care about trolls, to be honest. So that's why it's just funny. It's just funny to read, and if I can answer, why not? Shouldn't Zelensky and Putin be the ones working to end their war? Kim Katz, as far as I understood, and as far as President Trump mentioned, like. And of course, guys, it's true. Like even me, like I completely hate the opposite side. I completely hate Russian government and Putin, and both of them, they hate each other. And of course, like for them, it's just especially for Putin, because as far as I remember and heard, Zelensky, he's not against to meet him, to see him in any part of the world besides Russia, because Putin, he invited Zelensky to visit Russia, Moscow, and he also said that we will provide you all the security guarantees. But man, it's like ridiculous. Like this is the same that we invite Putin here, so every citizen will just kick his ass and just kill him at any place, and nobody will be punished for that. So it's just ridiculous to have to offer such offers, and of course, like it's no from the beginning. But of course, both of them and both of them should work and do everything possible. But if our side is for the ceasefire, for the peace, then Russia completely against, because they want more and more and more. And of course, for them, they just want to, I don't want to say wipe out Ukraine, but for them, like, our existence is some kind a threat. Yeah, because it's like completely opposite way of the development, because like for them we should be like in Belarus, like the country which is doing everything what Russia is saying to them. Steve, does Ukrainians have bowling alleys? What do you mean? Take is bowling. What is bowling? You mean bowling like the game, or bowling alleys? What are bowling alleys? While Trump is a politician, I think it has a lot to do with bankers, especially those who control central banks. They always have to grow the supply globally for the modern financial system to work. Yeah, but who are those huge bankers? You mean some huge corporation? I mean, who can influence even the president? So, because when, for example, like our country, it's let's say a small country compared to United States, compared to Canada, to countries that are bigger. Even like in terms of the economy, like it's smaller than some European countries. Of course, like the land we have more than other European countries, but in terms of the economy, like we have less. And of course, like when it's like that, of course, maybe in such a situation, it's easy to have some influence over such a small country. But when it's, let's say, the biggest economy, then it just really interesting. Who are those people? Who are those bankers? Take us bowling, Steve. Bowling. Yeah. We can go there with you, my friend. I told you, once you come, we'll go anywhere you wish. But yeah, like going to the bowling and what, to do live stream in the bowling? Oh, you just miss that square with balls. Because yeah, I remember that that beautiful balls that I showed you. It was Arsenalna Arsenalna station, yeah, near food market, the monument with balls. Yes, inside the mall I saw the one bowling alley. They also have a gym and ice rink inside the Galleria. Bowling alley, you mean just bowling place where we have these alleys, like 6, 7 or 8 alleys? Yeah, I've been to bowling like several times. Why you wondering? God bless you from America, Paulo. Thanks, CZ drivers. In America, the central bank is a private institution with shareholders. However, the names of those shareholders are private and can be accessed. True story. I'm sure it's the same with most of them. Probably. I watched many videos from Ukraine. I love the country and the people I watch, and this is war affecting people that live in the country and the mountains. Man, this war affects everybody. A Prigozhin solution is what Zelensky would get if he went to Moscow or Polonium T. Yeah, by the way, hello Cheryl. Prigozhin, the guy who was brave enough to not to resist, but just to show his power. And what's the outcome? He died in the plane crash, and of course it was organized by whom? Everybody knows by whom. And same with the Navalny. This is the opposition in Russia. I was watching his videos. He was investigated. Like he had a lot of investigations, and that guy, he was quite popular there, and he was just 40, 45 maybe, so young guy, and he was brave enough to return back to Russia, and he was arrested, put in jail. Before he was poisoned, then he had treatment in Germany, then he returned back and arrested, and then put in prison, and then just died in the prison. And due to their information, he had issues with the heart. But guys, that guy, he was completely he looked healthy, and he repeated that many times. If sooner or later they kill me, if sooner or later I die, so everybody must know that it's not my organic or just original death. And yeah, and then he was just, they said that he died because of some heart issues, and it happened maybe 2 years ago. Some of them are corporations, but mostly individuals, I would assume. Nobody really knows who owns the central banks because they won't tell anyone. People speculate though. Is Luba going to play the piano for us again? She's very talented. Yeah, she's playing. She's practicing and learning the new songs. Where is the opposition? Man, what are you asking? Why are you dodging my question? You're away there. Come on, man. First of all, I cannot even read your nickname, because what the heck? Like Ili Jahi, like ask and I will answer. I just I'm not reading, and I'm not watching the comments. If somebody asks me something, I'm just answering without looking at the screen. Putin Huilo, Cheryl, you yeah, can you pronounce that? You know how to say that? Because yeah, this sound is a h, letter h that we have is unusual for foreigners. There is a level of normalcy bias going on. They are shiny at night, yes? Man, they are so shiny at night, like stars. Like stars. You would be really impressed how shine that balls. I'm very angry of the greedy Belgian banks. You mean the interest, or what kind of why you angry? Hey man, hello Mo. Oh, not Mo, sorry, Beverly put out. Yeah, Mo was before. The rich people don't want to hear anything negative. They have strategies to deflect. It's weaponized. The both oppositions agreed that there can be a new election during the war. So the question from that guy, what was that? LG, hey. Of course, I missed some messages because I'm not just. About the TCC again. Man, if you're not blind, deaf, I answered that. I answered that to another guy, and if you're deaf, it's not my problem, man. Zelensky is a paid actor. Man, first of all, he was, let's say, the most popular person before his presidency. And when we, let's say, had that elections, he got 73%. And of course, many people were sure, and maybe if not the war, maybe, everything was differently. But that guy, he was just the guy. He's not a politician, just the guy from the, of course, the actor, and he's the head of different TV companies and producing the movie and different kind of like series, shows, internet shows. And yeah, it was really interesting, and it was exciting when he won the elections, because it was like a second breeze. Yeah, when you have no air, and then you have the second breeze, and everybody was really glad, let's say the majority of people. And of course, in my view, of course, Russia and Putin himself, he didn't like that happened at all. And for him, it just, how come that possible that just some guy who is not the politician, who is not the, who never worked in this field, and he became the president. And of course, it's a big problem for him. And first of all, I'm not here to defend, our politicians, to defend our government. I will repeat that I do not like many things that are happening. I do not like many things they are doing. They're implementing the way how they work. Yeah. Being an ordinary citizen and not politician, you cannot affect on that. But at the same time, our country, Ukraine, KYIV, it's a beautiful place to live, to stay, to come and visit. Many people perceive this country and think that it's something like from the past, something like in the Soviet Union. But guys, it's completely different. It's very high developed country. We have so many digital things that many countries do not have. You don't have to go anywhere, to fill some papers. You can do everything through your cell phone, through your computer. You can order, you can pay, you can do taxes, you can apply for any form, you can do pension. So papers, bureaucracy, queues, it's not about this country at all. Yeah, another problem maybe it's our Soviet past. And of course, if not the Soviet past, and if not the Soviet Union at all, we wouldn't have so many, let's say, problems around the politics, and especially this treatment from Russia that like Ukraine is like our country. It's not, it cannot be sovereign and independent, like. But guys, like, every time I just do not understand why every time they are just repeating the same stuff from 10 years back or 20 years back. You have to look forward. It's, of course, history, it's very important, but you cannot live like it was like 20 years ago, and to say like once back when like the king second like was there, it was like another country. But guys, it was like 500 years ago or 300 years ago. Like, time goes on, and history is changing. So what are you writing here? Так, I learned a lot of useful Ukrainian vocabulary. Actors are always popular. Hey, Paula, Luba, please be safe. Hello, Justin. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine, Justin. Hello there. Yeah, I've seen Johnny FD videos where he speaks highly of Ukraine, how it's clean and modern and better than most of Europe in many ways. Yes, you can affect it, Paul, from Ukraine. People protested and changed Zelensky and the Radas policy. Many of my friends participated in the most anti-corruption policy protest. Sure, you can change that, but even after that protest, it wasn't what people asked for. So they heard people, they allowed us to do demonstration, to protest, but eventually, if you read what happened, like, they still did not accept what we want, unfortunately. Ukraine is just like many other European countries in some, sorry for this loud, and born bankrupt who has been all over the world seem to agree with Johnny. Johnny is an idiot, goes shopping sneakers with wet socks and doesn't buy, makes video of it. Surname. Even Trump has no patience with Putin's pseudo-history lesson. Yeah, I remember it was recently, maybe he gave the interview and he was saying that once we met and then he had that historical lesson. And also the guy who got the interview, it was Carlson, yeah, he also said that that history lesson was funny. But guys, yeah, when you just listen to that, and every time he repeats about some Rurikovich, some historical people who lived like centuries ago, of course that's funny. What time is it there, Charles? Hello there, by the way, Charles. It's 6:15. While looking for the tab, want to be able to track airspace activity. Maybe do you have Apple or Android? So I can show you it in my app store. But maybe for your store this app will be unavailable. Give me a second. Так. Uno momento, please, guys. So the first app looks like this. Повітряна тривога. The name. And another one is So you can see these are Flugger. But Flugger is the app that follows your, let's say, GPS, and it shows. But by the way, another I see internet foreign app. This is e-alert, Ukrainian air raid alert. So yeah, if you want, you can download it and you will be aware. Love Ukraine from Tername. I would love to live there if I wasn't so settled here. Hey, good to see you guys. Glad you're okay, from Charles. Good to see you, Charles, as well. Yeah, I do remember many of your nicknames, and especially when they are, you know, have normal names. Because people who have just some random letters, or just, you know, some make up names which hard to memorize, then of course it's hard to remember everybody. I heard Paulo speaking Spanish on un momento. Yeah, muy bien. ¿Cómo estás? Hola, amigo. Oh, by the way, guys, we have a beautiful moon. If you see it, yeah. Ти ще говориш? Да? Можемо наверх пройтись. Щоб тут не... Yeah, let's try to walk a bit, because I've been standing here for an hour, because I started at 5. Ni hao, ni hao. 我是 Paulo. 我是 Ukraine ma. Of course I know. Steve, I know a bit. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8. But my Chinese has English accent. So, right here we have a square, a park next to the river. The coffee shop, Aroma Kava. So you can see espresso, americano, cappuccino, bubble tea. There is the road with stores. You can see public transport. The temperature, by the way, is 6 degrees. Are there any food shortages in your area due to the war? Rick Deckard, no. There are no issues with food except the price. Of course, everything has gone up, and every week the price, you know, is higher than it was a week ago. But as for the shortages, no. So we have gasoline, we have all the food. Like, man, if you visit Ukrainian supermarket, Ukrainian grocery store, you would be amazed how many offers we have on the shelves, and how many, you know, like the variety of every product. So except for Ukrainian products, like there are a lot of import products, but even Ukrainian products, like there are just a big list of everything. What time does the missiles usually start coming in, Charles? Usually it's after 12. After 12 till the morning, and then it can be in the morning again, and it can be in the afternoon, but mostly the biggest attack that we had, they were during the nighttime. Same thing in America, hyperinflation. Hey Jerry, hello there my friend, how are you? Yeah guys, of course, everybody feels inflation, but in Ukraine you feel the inflation much more because of their currency rate. So let's say our hryvnia, our national currency, depends on the dollar, depends on the euro, and once something bad happened, and especially, you know, when there is the war and economy suffer, so there is devaluation and our currency becoming cheaper, and let's say your salary is becoming cheaper if you exchange it to dollars, and all the, let's say, grocery linked and fixed to, let's say, to dollar, to euro. So many things like you know, some shower gels, soaps, toothpaste, some stuff for bathroom, for kitchen. Let's say, I'm not talking about, you know, some grocery like milk or eggs or meat. This stuff have raised maybe like from 50 till 100%. So some things were cheaper like 2 times a few years ago. But as for some shampoos, some shower gels, toothpaste, some, you know, how we call that, like some sprays, and especially pharmacy, because big list of pharmacy are foreign, and of course for them prices are really let's say unaffordable. Because let's imagine, like, when I was a student, my scholarship, yeah, it was 800-900 hryvnia, and at that period of time it was about like $120, and it was really good scholarship. And now students have scholarship like 1.3, 1.5, and it's $40. So it's like almost 3 times lower in American dollar, but in Ukrainian hryvnia it's higher. But you cannot afford that many things that I could afford when I was a student, because even just to eat in the dining room I paid like 30 hryvnia, and now like you have to pay like 100 to have some dinner in the, let's say, cheapest cafe like Puzata Hata. You have to pay at least maybe $7 or $8. Yeah, for American people it seems really nothing, but for Ukrainian people, like, man, it's really expensive. And even like if you go shopping, like to buy some grocery, you pay 500, 600 hryvnia like every time, and it's just for a day. And a few years ago, like before the war, you could live like 3 or 4 days, like spending the same amount of money. So that's why like we feel the inflation as nobody else. And beside the inflation, there is ongoing war and a lot of hardships, you know, with income, with earning the money. And because of the war, the pensions, they are pretty not, you know, there are no changes in pensions, there are no changes in social payments, because everything goes to the war. Hi from what's that, NK in the United States? Please clarify NK, because it's New York? No? Yeah, no. It's not New York, it's NK. New what? Paladino, Canadian prepper? No. Bro, are you nuts? Gas is cheaper than it was before COVID. Gold price I will accept. Yeah, by the way, gold, it's like 4K now, yeah? And it was like 3.5 just maybe a few months ago. As for gasoline in Ukraine, guys, it's freaking expensive. It's like $1.6 per 1.6 per liter, and so it's like 5.7 per gallon. The war has tragically devalued Ukraine's image in the West like almost no other development could have, from East Bloc associations to heroic rightness people and state-of-the-art war tech. Coffee is the same too. I don't know about seed balls, but that's insignificant. Yeah, coffee, man, coffee prices, like even the like, you know, the cappuccino cup, like 3 years ago it was like 20 hryvnia cappuccino cup, like average size. Now it's like 60, 65, so 3 times more. Beef is twice as expensive as 20. Hello Carol, hi Paul, it's good to see you again. I like your calm and composed manner despite the seriousness of the situation you find yourself in. Thanks man, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to stay, you know, I'm trying to stay who I am, who am I, like it doesn't matter what's happening, I'm still, you know, I'm that Paula that was like 2-3 years ago. And of course, like there are a lot of hardships, and the inner state, my inner state is horrible, but I'm just trying to stay like that. Just look, like it's beautiful in the camp and it's beautiful in the video, and beautiful monument of the guy and the girl. I don't remember the name. It's like Unity, Jednania. Yeah. We were here several times during the lives of the Unity. The integrity of humanity is based on the harmonious combination of male and female entities. Do you know Tanya? She goes to the same places as you. Tanya Fiona? Or which Tanya? Yeah. I don't know her personally, but yeah, I was surprised because she was filming about the place that was attacked near my college, and she said that she's also from that college. And when I heard that, I was like surprised. What? Like maybe, you know, we were in parallel groups. I don't know, but that's really interesting. I see you're a little frustrated with higher cost of living. Why not leave UAE if you can? Like Dennis, the video is going to Switzerland. You heard him. Man, Chris, if you think that it's man, first of all, it's forbidden to leave. So you can leave Ukraine paying something, but man, yeah, I heard and I know that guy. But man, it's not, you know, easy and possible to do that. And man, the life outside, the life abroad is way more expensive than in Ukraine, as far as I see and understood. Cheryl, in the last days people will be under strong delusions. Like Tanya, she walks around in the daytime. I don't have an agenda when it comes to globalism. We can go there, but it's a bit noisy. I mean, near to the road. So that's why. Let's go back. She doesn't hear me. She's talking to somebody. Можем пойти назад туда, да? Чтобы не стоять тут. Yeah, let's go back. It's still 6:30. CS also Slava Ukraine. Sending love from Tennessee, United States. Thanks, CS. Thanks a lot. Stupid to ask him why he don't leave. Both of them have family there, not all can just leave. 8 point, and it's not even about the family. Like it's just forbidden for men to leave. So yes, there are several ways, like official ways, that people can go. But oh, guys, I can just go closer and show you. So of course, like I told that many times, I'd like to go, I'd like to travel. Just look how beautiful. It's just some random church in Ukraine next to the Dnipro River. Thanks for the show in Ukraine. You're welcome. Rene Books. Oh, 23 or 22. I already forgot. But yeah, for majority of people from 18 till 60, or from 22 till 60, if I'm not wrong, it's let's say forbidden to leave. What time is curfew? From 12, from midnight. And now it's just 6. Are Ukrainians your age religious, Jimmy? No. So, you know, like, even me, I cannot say that. Of course, yeah, first of all, I'm not religious. But I do believe in something high, but usually I'm just, you know, like like a young guy. We do not visit the church on Sundays like many of you do. So for us, church is only when you have some, you know, special occasion, when there are some christening, you know, when you christening the kid, or you have вінчання, як буде, не знаю, да? Like, it's not baptism, it's like, it's kind of, you know, some procedures that you do in church. But as for the service, yeah, some people, especially who are elderly, like some grandparents, some grandmoms or granddad, church wedding or matrimony, yeah guys, maybe you know this word, matrimony, if I say it correct. But yeah, some yeah, for church. So usually we do not visit the church, but if somebody has some, you know, wedding or christening the kid, then of course you go there. But yeah, we're not that religious. We I think Paulo brother has something to do with keeping him safe, but I don't want to get sorry, it's getting cold, so maybe like a few more minutes and we'll be ending this video. So very dark for 6. Yeah, it's really dark, and during winter time it will be dark at 3:30. Curfew is 12 to 5. Yeah, that's true. I guess it's more expensive than 5 years leading to up to COVID. Just stop being so man, it's, you have these discussions between yourself, and I'm sometimes confused, like which messages you direct to me and which to somebody else. I'm proud of my Ukrainian brother and sister firefighters. Yeah, that guys are really heroes. So last night we had the attack, and they were fighting with the fire for 14 hours, and there is the photo of the guy, some firefighter, after 14 hours, and he was, you know, completely smoked and black, and just getting married. Yeah, when people getting married, they have this that process. Did your clocks change last night? Yeah, Rick. So we changed our clocks to the winter time, so 1 hour back, and that's why it's so dark at 6. So usually, like, if it was yesterday, it wasn't that dark at 6, but now, like, since we changed the clock, it's really dark, and closer to the winter, to January, it will be even more dark. Arizona and Hawaii don't change their clocks. The rest of the United States change 2nd of November. Yeah, so as far as I remember, our government, they were supposed to, let's say, to cancel this change clocks, and they were reviewing this, it's not the law but just the procedure, but eventually we still have this change. When I do realize when it's, you know, like, because for some purposes, for example, during the summertime, so when it's becoming like the daytime is bigger, so it's good for some farmers who are working in the fields. But during the winter, when nobody do that, and it's already dark at 4 or at 3:30, of course it's really uncomfortable, because I do remember when I was at university, imagine you go to university at 7 and then you're returning back at 4 and it's already dark, and it's university. And if you go to the job again, like you go at 7 or 8 and then you're returning back at 6 or 7 and it's like night again. So I don't know when it's dark at your place, but as for us, during winter time it's dark at 4 in the evening, and it's dark till 7:30 in winter time. Пошли сюда. It's 6:32. Sunday, 26th of October. What's the neighborhood called? Tatiana, this is Dniprovska Nabережна. So Dnipro River is here, and this road is Dniprovska Nabережна. Really beautiful place, especially during summertime, because we have here several beaches. We have here just good nature, and this place is pleasant for evening walks and just to come here and to sit on the grass, to have some picnics. I noticed news on the front lines are getting gradually better. Russia is struggling in ways far worse than before. Yeah, first of all, we did pretty good with their oil refineries, and like every few days there are some good news about that. And of course, closer to the winter, the front lines, they are less active because of the weather, because of the colds. But of course, that's good. Right bank or left bank? This is left bank. When we go to sleep at 3 a.m. during the fall, we hardly see any daylight. 3 a.m. Man, 3 a.m. it's the night. We have no light at 3 a.m. never, neither in summer, neither in winter. You're welcome, Tanya. Paula, buy yourself a coffee or drink. Thanks a lot, Robert. After this live, we'll go to the store to buy some grocery. They also have their small, let's say, cafe, like, you know, fast food. It's not the restaurant, just fast food cafe, where you can take some sandwiches, some shawarma, some burgers or pizza. So thanks a lot, Robert, for that. I will take the tea, because for coffee it's already late. Hi Paula, Mike Charles here from Melbourne. Oh, what camera are you using? It's great quality, and your videos show how nice Kyiv is, as I remember being there before the war. Thanks, Charles. Oh, not Charles, thanks, Mike. Yeah, so this is DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So I like this cam because it has a stabilizer. So it's, even if I'll be running, like, the picture stabilized, and it has 4 mics, and I'm able to do live streams from this cam. It has great battery, it has wireless mic. So yeah, if somebody wants to buy the cam for your, I don't know, like personal filming or just to start the blog. So I definitely recommend this cam as a first cam, and yeah, it's really comfortable. And before this cam I was using the second version. It's a bit smaller, but it has a smaller sensor, and like the picture is not that is not that not the white, um, not the deep, yeah, not the deep. But this cam is really great, and especially for the nighttime, the zoom, you can do zoom and you can connect it to the cell phone. So right here we have a cafe, so you can see the cafe on the top of the building. It's not like cafe, it's more like for special occasions. So if you wanna have some date, you can do it there. Getting dark here in Alaska early, at black ice and 8 shit coming out of the gym, overturned bus and trucks too. Black ice and 8 shit coming out of the gym. What does it mean, coming out of the gym? Bird gummer. That's Sao Paulo at 3 a.m. musicians hours. I mean, Jerry, 3 a.m. 3 a.m. in United States or 3 a.m. in Ukraine? Because as far as I remember, you don't do live streams so late. But yeah, when you do live streams, it's always late here in Ukraine. Watchman reading from his Watchtower pamphlet. Paula, I have a DJI Pocket 2, I don't use it much though. Man, you have your beautiful glasses. I remember the footage you sent me. So yeah, and it's really interesting to have such glasses with cam, so like hidden cam, and you can go anywhere you want. Like it's really interesting. Will ever they have the live stream feature from the glasses? You could put a link next time for your equipment for some extra help. I have not that many equipment, like this is my main and my only cam that I use, so yeah. And if somebody is asking me about that, every time I reply and say that yeah, I use DJI in US Paulo. But how come it's 3 a.m. musician hours? It's early morning or it's late night. He slept. 8 shit is a saint. I see. I'm looking at the map of Kyiv. There is something strange in the Dnieper called Devetinover. Do you know what is that? No, I don't know. Robert. Not Robert, Kyril. Sorry. За 7, наверное. Чи за 6 даже. I heard you said have some date on the top of the roof. I remember that Americans used to go to Ukrainian to get brides. Not sure about now. Yeah, of course. Before, like many Americans were coming to Ukraine to find some ladies. Yeah, so this is here. Alright, Люба, let's go. Yeah, не сильно, але так трошки. So, let's go this way. So today we had a really nice conversation with you guys.
Я на телефоні була.
Yeah, so
Не казала тобі. Ну, пишу додому. Не було времени поговорити.
So you can rent the scooter. I like to rent the scooters and to ride somewhere around. It's it's not that cheap as it was before, but it's still not that expensive. So it's a bit cheaper than the taxi, but it gives you some, additional joy when you ride this EV scooter. And recently they also started to rent out such mopeds, EV mopeds. They are bigger, they are more expensive, and you need a driver license to rent them. I got my woman Ruslana. I don't think they were expensive. I learned that solid figures, maybe 25-30 bucks. Of course, man, it depends on if it's some premium luxury hotel, of course it will be like 100 bucks. But if it's just some private hotel, it would be like $35. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for your attention, your support, kind words. Right now we'll go inside to have some heat because it was really chilly here, and I'll see you in my next videos or live streams. Please stay safe, and let's hope that these upcoming days will be really calm in KYIV, Ukraine, and let's hope for some progress in reaching the